Hello, this is Steve Saenz, your ATL Sherpa. Welcome. This immersive experience will provide you with the context you need to better understand Microsoft's big announcement and what it means for Atlanta. My mission at ATL Sherpa is to help you connect with Atlanta's past, present, and future. And my hope is that you will gain a greater appreciation for where we are today, how we got here, and where we're going in the months and years ahead. To optimize this experience, I highly recommend that you put on your earbuds, go into full screen mode, and try to watch it from a place where you are free from distractions. I hope you enjoy the tour. Okay, before we dive into this presentation, I'd like to give you some tips on how to use it, how to save some time, and how to get the most out of this Google Earth map and tour. So you're looking at, you should land on a page that looks like this. And if you notice in the upper right-hand corner, there is a video and it says, welcome video, start here. So I would recommend that you start by playing this video. And it's the one that we are recording right now. Okay, and when you're done with the video, then you can begin to explore the map. There are 30 different stops on this tour. If you look in the lower left-hand corner there, it says table of contents. You click on those three horizontal lines, it expands the table of contents, and you can see all the stops that are on the tour. Each of these stops brings up a new panel, just like this, a split screen panel like the one you see right here. But before we go to another page, I want to show you a couple of tips and tricks that I think are worthwhile and I think will make the experience a lot better for you. Okay, you can collapse the table of contents by clicking on the three horizontal lines again, which I'm about to do. And zoop, it goes right back down. You can also navigate sequentially from stop to stop or page to page by using the arrows at the bottom here. So right now it says we're on the first of 30 stops. So we can click on the next button there, that little caret button, or on the, well, we can't here because we're at number 1, but later you'll be able to click on the back button. So you can go backwards and forwards using those arrows. Okay, now here's something else I want to show you. A couple things. First of all, if you look on the Google screen side, the left side, sorry, the Google Earth side, you see down here, there's a little button circle that says 3D. Okay, watch what happens when I click on 3D. It launches what's called Orbital Animation, which is a fancy way of saying that it tilts it down into 3 dimensions. So you can see the subject matter in 3D, and it starts a 360-degree spin of the subject matter, which is really handy on a tour like this, because one of the things you're looking for is context, right? You want to see what's around it and where something is in relation to other things, okay? Now, we're pretty high out, pretty high up right here. As a matter of fact, if you look down at the very bottom of the screen, I don't know if you can see this, it says camera 19 miles. That means that the satellite image, the setting that we're on right now, is 19 miles above the ground, which is obviously a long way. So here's what you do. If you want to zoom in, you can stop that spinning the animation by just clicking anywhere on the map, and it just stops. And then what I do, now I happen to have a touchscreen laptop, which I highly recommend, because now I'm going to use my fingers and watch what I can do here on this left side. I can zoom in. Let's go over here and look for something interesting. I'm zooming in. I'm doing this with my fingers. Let's go zoom into downtown. Look at the Georgia Pacific building coming into view here. And zoom right in. We can almost go in there and wave at some of the people that are working in the Georgia Pacific building. So the other thing that's cool, I'm going to do this with my fingers. Let's say we want to see the other side of the building. I can spin this around. And let's just go down there and take a look at their big sign on the side on the top of the building. Wonder what's on the roof. Okay, there we go. You see how this is quite amazing here. And by the way, look at the altitude now. We're now at 1,849 feet above the ground. And while we're at it here, let's go take a look at the Peachtree Plaza. There's the oops, what flew right over it. But there's the sundial. Probably been up there. That's the restaurant. So this is pretty cool. You can use your fingers to kind of really zero in on the spot that you want. And that's what makes this Google Earth such a useful tool, especially for this type of presentation here. Here's a great view. You can kind of like, it's like a bird's eye view. You can fly from Midtown or from downtown there. There's the Atlantic, what do they call that? The Atlantic Station, used to be the IBM building. Anyway, I'm getting carried away here. It's a lot of fun there. And there's the connector. So bottom line, when you land on on a stop, try clicking on the 3D view and see what it offers in terms of the perspective, and use your fingers to zoom in and stop it and so forth. You can go back to the 2-dimensional view by clicking on 2D, and it just literally, wherever you are, it puts you down on that. You're looking straight down on the subject matter. Okay, one other thing before we move on to another stop. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll see, in this case, there's that welcome video here that we're recording right now. And you'll notice there are some little forward arrow and back arrow. Okay, that means there's other images to see. And if you click on them, which I'll do right now, you will see the other images that are there. It's kind of like a slideshow. But here's this is really important. You probably are going to want to blow that up and expand it into full screen mode. And all you do to do that is you click on the image anywhere. Just click on the image and presto, you have a large full screen view of that image. Okay. Now I'm going to walk you through this image because this is the whole tour right here. And this is the reason I created this whole tour. But this is an image that I created about 3 years ago. And I created it for my clients. I do tours. I do tours of Atlanta. I've been doing tours for about 6 years. I've done somewhere between 300 and 400 tours, most of them walking tours all over the city of Atlanta. But I also do private tours. And I do those mostly for real estate investors, developers, and even some international institutional investors that are here in Atlanta, buying property and developing property and so forth. So I created this image to help people understand what's happening in what I call the Northwest sector. Now, I do tours all over the city. This just happens to be the one that I created for Northwest Atlanta. Okay. Now, there has been a tremendous amount of interest in this area, as I'm sure you know, for many, many years. Okay. And one of the things I talk about is gentrification and the impact that all of this activity is having on the neighborhoods that surround these areas. But what you see here in these little boxes, if you will, with the names are areas of town, developments, colleges and universities. On the left, you'll see Fulton County Airport and Fulton Industrial Boulevard. These are areas of town or sites. These are things that are generating interest and demand for real estate, for property in this area. And when I say the area, it's the red dotted line. That's the focus area for this tour. Okay. And when I say real estate and property, I'm talking about all types of real estate. I'm talking about single family homes. I'm talking about raw land. I'm talking about abandoned industrial buildings that are being redeveloped. I'm talking about apartment buildings. So the investors that are coming into this area are typically large, what I call institutional investors that are looking for, property to develop or redevelop. But it's these things around here, around this, the circumference of this, that are generating the demand. And alternatively, these things that are happening around this area are in fact what made this property called Quarry Yards so attractive to Microsoft. And it's the reason, frankly, that Microsoft purchased the 90 acres. Okay, so lots of things happening here, but that's the whole purpose of this tour. The purpose of this tour that I've created here in Google Earth is to help you understand all these different things that are happening, how they impact the area in the red zone, and how they have the interplay off of each other. Okay, so the tour takes us pretty much to all of those areas. That's what the 30 stops are. Finally, the little black ovals there with the numbers, that's the mileage. That's the number of miles that these things are from quarry yards. Okay. In the very top of the map, you'll see something that says Tech Center 28. That refers to Microsoft's Technology Center, which is in Avalon, up in Alpharetta. It's 28 miles from quarry yards, basically straight up 400. And at the bottom of the map, you notice it says Data Center, 25 miles. That's the new data center that they just announced, where they're going to be building a new, what they call a region for their cloud computing down in an area near Palmetto, Georgia, if you know where that is. That's where Serenbe is, and Trilith Studios, if you know that area. So that's what this is all about. And one last thing, the Atlantic Yards, which is up from the center up into the right a little bit there, that's in Atlantic Station. That is about 3 miles away, and that is Microsoft's new complex that's about ready to come online. I mean, within the next few months. And that's a big facility here. And that's one of the stops on the tour, naturally. So we're going to go in there. So that's what this tour is all about. It's about these demand drivers. It's about helping you understand what's happening around here, why it's important, and how it impacts the area inside the red circle. I will say, before we close out of here, I think personally, this is a stroke of genius on the part of Microsoft. There's not a more strategically located piece of land, certainly developable land, that is this large, that is this close to the core of our city. I mean, look at that. We're talking about 3.5 miles from 5 Points. These are driving distances. So it's on transit. I'll talk about that in the tour. Just for lots of reasons, this is a brilliant move on the part of Microsoft, if I may say. Okay, so to close out of the full screen view, upper right corner, you see the X there. Click on that, and you're back to your split screen view. Okay, let's go to another stop. Let me show you one more, and then I'll turn you loose, and you can go through this at your own pace and at your own leisure. Let's see, I'm going to use the table of contents, lower left, click on the 3 horizontal lines, and let's go take a look at the Bellwood Quarry. That's stop number 11, and you'll understand why I'm taking you to this stop. Okay, so the animation takes us in a kind of a flight over to this location. The image on the left, the view on the left, is the view that I have set. I set the altitude when I created this stop, and I'll show you more about that in a minute. But again, my first recommendation is click on the 3D button, and let's take a look at what this looks like in the orbital animation. This is a great view there. Now, this is before they filled the quarry with water. For those of you that have been following this project, there's the pump house right there. It's getting ready to go off the screen to the right. This quarry, this granite quarry, which is 100 years old, has since been filled with water, and it is now one of the backup reservoir, the primary reservoir for the city of Atlanta. And I talk all about that here. And in fact, I'll talk about the video there in just a second. But I want to go down and take a look inside that quarry. So let's stop the animation. Again, I clicked on the left side there, anywhere, and it just stops the spinning. Now I'm going to use my fingers. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to spin it around a little bit because I want to go down and look at the tunnel that they drilled to bring the water into the tunnel. Okay, so you can kind of tell. See all this stuff down in the bottom here? You can see it right there in the top. I'm going to zoom all the way in So you can see that is the entrance to the tunnel. Now that's not a big tunnel. That's a 12-foot in diameter tunnel, but that's what they used. That's where the drilling machine, you may have heard about the story of Driller Mike, that they had made to drill this tunnel over to the Hemphill Reservoir and then onto the Chattahoochee. That is how they were going to get the water. And that's how they did get the water into this old quarry, which is 400 feet deep in some places. Let's say I want to go look at those walls. I want to just show you how detailed this is. And again, maybe I want to go look at the other side of the quarry. And again, all I do, oh, there's the pump house while we're there. Let's go take a look at that. That's a beauty. All this has been completed, by the way. And like I said, they have since filled. This side over here is the deepest part of the quarry. Look right there. They say that's about 450 feet deep. Anyway, I think you get the gist of this. I'm using my fingers to do all this navigation here. Very, very handy when it comes to exploring these areas. Okay, now on the right, let's go to the panel here. And again, let me show what's on there. In this case, there's another video. There's a video there that I highly recommend. This is a video that was created by the Department of Watershed Management, City of Atlanta, that gives the whole story of this quarry, the engineering that went into it. I mean, it's fascinating. If you love to explore, if you like to learn, and if you're into this kind of stuff like I am, you are going to love this tour. And I'm going to guess that the fact that you found yourself to this tour and you're still watching this video tells me you're a curious person and you love to explore and learn. And I think this whole tour is going to be a treasure chest for you because it is packed with cool stuff. So watch that. Let's see what else is there. Let's use the forward arrow. Ooh, there's another video. Okay, here's my little special treat for you. I have included a series of videos. Actually, I think there's 5 of them. These are 1-minute videos that I recorded several years ago when I had one of the opportunities of a lifetime and one of the most amazing things that I've been able to do. I got a chance to go into the tunnel. And these are the videos that I shot. These have never been published before. Again, this was like 3 years ago when they were drilling the tunnel. When we went in, the driller Mike had basically reached Hemphill. So it was about a mile into the earth. And what you will see if you watch this series of videos is you will watch me and some of my compadres get in the little mining cars, and literally you are going to watch and feel the ride all the way to the back of driller Mike. And then I think the last 2 videos, we're out of the little cars walking around and getting we're being led and explained what all the parts are, but we're at the back end of driller Mike. This is a fascinating experience. I would recommend you take some time, again, put your earbuds on, because the sound that you hear when you're going through the tunnel, you can almost feel like you're in there. Now, keep in mind, this quarry is now filled with water. So this was something that was, like I say, kind of a once in a lifetime experience, but that's the kind of stuff I've included in this tour. And this is just one of 1,000 things that I've baked into the pie for you. So one last thing before I let you go, remember on the right side in the right panel, read the text part. I've summarized what that stop is all about, but most importantly, look for the links at the bottom right where it says explore more. There you will find links to slide presentations. And I guarantee you're going to want to download these slide presentations. Some of the images that I use in the top portion of the panel, I got from slide presentations. When we get to the Beltline stop, when you get to Proctor Creek Greenway, and some of these other areas that I think will be really interesting to you, you're going to want to download those slide decks. So I think that's enough of a tutorial. I hope you enjoy this tour. I have spent a lot of hours putting this together. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you find it helpful. If you do, please feel free to share this with family, friends, clients, if you have them, coworkers. The more, the merrier. And if I may ask a favor, if you could take some time and go to ATLsherpa.com and subscribe to my new podcast and newsletter. There is a free subscription. There's also a premium option that you can look at when you get there. But if you can take a look at ATL Sherpa and subscribe to the newsletter, that's where you'll get all the latest information. I create stuff like this kind of all the time. It's what I do. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this. Please let me know if I can help you in any way. My email address, I'll just throw it in here, is steve@atlsherpa.com. Be happy to answer any questions you have. If you had feedback, I'm sure you'll find some typos and other errors in this video. If you see anything that's glaring, please let me know. And thanks again for your interest in ATL Sherpa. I hope you enjoy the tour, and I hope you have a great day.